Welcome. In this video, you'll learn how to debug security settings in Dynamics AX 2012. We'll walk through various add-ins in AX that you can use to view relationships between a secured object and a security artifact. This demonstration requires understanding of security concept in AX, so if you want more information on security, please find the reference at the end of this presentation. By the end of this video, you'll be able to view related security roles for a securable object, also view related security roles for a security artifact, like a privilege or a duty, find securable objects associated with a security item, and most importantly, identify effective permissions of a role. So let's go over to the AOT tool. For this demonstration, I'll use our demo application, the Fleet Management. The Fleet Management contains three primary roles: FM Clerk, FM Manager, and FM Service Tech. Let's say we are interested in finding out what FM Manager secures. Doing that is pretty straightforward. Right-click on FM Manager, Add-ins, Security Tool, View Related Security Objects. The grid that displays is basically the relationship between role, duty, privilege, and entry point and its access level. The first column is basically the role name that we selected, and there are columns for duty, privileges, and the entry point name as well. You can also see that it also listed out the access level for that particular entry point. In this case, the access level is view. There are other access levels as well, like full control on EcoRes product service. So this is how you find out what a role secures. Let's look at a different example. Let's say we are interested in finding out what role secures a menu item. Let's take an example of Activities Main Basic. Again, right-click on Activities Main Basic, Add-ins, Security Tool, and View Related Security Roles. This time, it displays the same grid. One main difference, however, is instead of filtering by role name, this time the grid is filtered by the entry point name, in this case the Activities Main Basic. In this grid, you'll find all the roles associated with this particular entry point. For example, Collection Letter Collection Manager contains that particular entry point through a duty called Case Management Enable and Privilege Activities Main Basic Maintain. Let's say this time we are interested in finding out all the securable objects accessible from this particular entry point. Again, right-click, Add-ins, Security Tools, View Related Security Objects. The difference here is it does list out all the entry points. However, it is also listing out all the securable objects accessible from that particular entry point. For example, Project Activity, Project Activity Assignment, which is of type table field. So far you have seen how to debug a role and a menu item or an entry point. The debugging process I've been showing you here is very similar to all the debugging process for security items. Let's look at another example where this time we'll look at a privilege and try to find relevant security roles and relevant security objects. Let's go over to privilege. One thing to note is this example applies to both privileges as well as duties or any other security artifacts like a role. So what you can do is, let's say address list maintain, right click on it, again security tools, and view related security roles. This time what you see is it displays all the roles related to this particular privilege. You can also see the duty name associated with that privilege. So the privilege we selected was address list maintain. The associated duty was directory address book master maintain, and the role it's associated with is HCM Human Resource Manager. Another way to look at this is Add-ins, Security Tools, View Related Security Objects. This time around, it displays all the securable objects associated with this particular privilege. For example, address list maintain has entry point address action deactivate or address add edit, which is again web content object managed, which points to our securable objects like associated, association, add, edit, web control. So one last thing I'd like to show you is an important example, which is finding an effective permission for a role. Let's go over to our example FM Manager. Right click on it, add-ins, security tool, view related security objects. This is the first grid you saw earlier. This time we'll go over the effective access roles. The interesting thing here is this column right here, the effective access role column. The reason I say this is interesting is this is the permission that is actually reflected on the role. There are various scenarios where you can override permissions at role level or at different security item levels. And this particular column will tell you what is the effective access right for that particular role. For example, for FM car class, which is a securable object of type table field, this particular role has full control. Whereas for FM rental table field, it has only create permission. So that's how you go about debugging a security item. Hope this was useful. Thank you for watching.